Hello there, hello myself in the future, who I'm doing this video for, but if you, my fellow visitor, find it useful, please like and subscribe, as they say, but just kidding. I was having a problem with a text and what I can do with that. In my small project, I needed to, extrude a text and shrink wrap it on curved surface. And I discovered that it's not as easy because by default this is how mesh looks when you just have it still as a text, still editable text, and so that was the problem. And the only other way I discovered is all the manual work. Like, for example, you can do the none for the fill mode in this while it's still a text, and then you would need to unfortunately go destructive. You would need to convert it to mesh, and then you would need to start editing it like this, and then face quads, and you get somewhat usable mesh. Still some pinching will be a problem, but well, yeah, it's a mesh now. You can't do much about it in terms of changing the text, and then it's still manual work to fix this mesh, the faces and everything, but at least you can do all this solidify and then bevel. Let's see what I can do with the bevel. 2 segments, profile, this. Just I can do all those things, and I can subdivide, and you will get some pinching like here, but at least it will be something. But then it's all destructive operations, so there should be a better way, right? Yes, there is a better way. Let's go over here, and this is the final way. Look at this beautiful mesh. And the fun fact is it is an editable mesh, and by editable I mean it's still a text. Look at that. Hello, how cool is that? And obviously, as you can see spoiled at the bottom and maybe in the title of this video, it's all done with geometry nodes, which I don't know really well, so I just put things together from pieces I found on the internet and trying to understand how they work. But no, actually, I had some wins where I did something myself. But let's look at what's happening. First of all, let's just kill all those modifiers so they are not distracting us. Now let's look at the top, and we see the mesh. This is the beautiful mesh with everything. Yeah, cool. Let's just put the letter R here, and you will see why in a minute. But now let's look at the mesh. It consists of a couple things. There's a couple things that are not as important, like this, guys. This is the most important thing. And by most important thing, I mean it just subdivides all the segments of the spline into equal chunks, and then just fills it. Let's go inside and look what's happening here. So what's happening is we have our spline with resolution 1, which makes it this. So it removes all this interpolation between control points. So those are just the control points. And then we get instances, and then some magic happens over here where we subdivide each section essentially by equal amount, because there is this other group that one of the nice people at blenderartist.org has came up with, which measures the length of a segment, and then we divide it by the number that comes in as a value, and we end up with where to cut. I believe by the end of this you end up with a lot of control points all over the place at equal distances. And now, because they are equal distances, if you do fill curve, then it will connect them with lines, and it will look like well-spaced triangles and everything. Now if I go out, then there is this other node group that was done not by me, which by some magic does something similar to what the triangles to quads operation in the viewport does, but it now actually it's a node group, it's a geometry node. If I go inside, it's big, massive, and complicated. I was not even trying to understand it, so let's not do it. And then I discovered a problem which I solved with this guy, curve merge by distance. So it's like merge by distance in normal modeling, but it's for curves and it's node group. And when I put it here, you will see that this segment here disappears. Look, and it's important because if I don't do that and I solidify and bevel, you will see how bad and what happens, because it's too small and my bevel doesn't have a clamp because I don't want a clamp, because clamp will limit my ability to do bevel the size I want. And so I decided, well, how about we just remove small segments and simplify it? And that's what I did here with this node group. And this node group was also supplied by forum member. I didn't do it, but only this part was supplied. And if you look at how it was out of the box, it was like this. Look, it's bad. The shape of the R letter is changing drastically. And that's why I, very proud, I came up with this section here, which fixes it. Look, boom, the shape of this top segment of the spline got corrected. And so I wanted to show you how I did that and what's happening there, because again, proud. For that, we will show this guy here. So on this example, this is normal, simple. So this is a curve and it has this segment here that will be deleted, and it is being deleted. But now before my change, it would be deleted like this. And what's happening is this node tree just deletes this control point and leaves this control point as it is, with these control handles being like this. But what I did with this modification here is I took the left handle of the deleted node and I replaced the remaining control point left handle with that one, and that's what it's doing. And now this handle is being applied to the left one of this control point and it looks nice. So yeah, that's how I solved that problem. In the end, you get a nice mesh and it's all quads. Well, not all quads, but mostly quads, which makes a better looking shape when you subdivide and all that. Then it looks very nice. And for the final demo, I will go here. Let's switch to this and hide this, and yeah, so that's the final demo. Some little bit of animation and some surfaces that are also made with geometry nodes. Yeah, so what's happening here is it goes on top of this surface that is also geometry nodes, and I'm doing a little bit of shrink wrapping, solidifying, bevel, and all that. So how cool is that? Oh yeah, and that thing, forgot to mention, it's actually a text, so I can bloody edit it. Look at that. Hello. Look at that. It's editable. And it's all animated. Look at that. How cool is that? Yeah, and so I did some animation, animated the camera. Oh, what's going on there? Ooh, look at that. I haven't seen that bug. Anyway, you saw it first. It has bugs, obviously. That's pretty much it. Thank you very much.